Hi guys, hi, this is Marta with Universal Power Tarot, and these messages we bring you today are supposed to encourage, elevate, and empower you guys. Hello, how are you doing? Excuse my voice, and sorry for the long absence. I was super sick, my child was super sick, like February we were totally sick. And as you can still hear by my voice, I can't change that. It is what it is, and we're on the mend now. And I can't wait to bring you the readings because some of you may know this from the community chat. Like I've channeled over 50 titles for readings, and today we are going to do what your ancestors want you to know. Okay, so we're going to have a look into that, and I'm very, very excited, and I hope you all are really super well. All right, let's have a look, shall we? Oh, this one. Wow, this one, yeah. I almost felt two of your ancestors, one masculine element and one feminine element, want to come through here. We have the Five of Cups indicated here with the masculine element. This is very interesting. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles with the feminine element that is coming through here. This is already promising to be a very interesting reading for that reason. I feel like there's a bridge that is yet to be crossed in your case here. The Five of Cups indicate that you lost something and you can't get it back. Like it's all, you can't do anything about it. It's like when you spill something, you can't, make it all go back into your cup. Like that's done. And it seems like you're sad about it, or there's a period of grieving about it, but you would ultimately have to leave this because there's nothing to be gained from this situation anymore. You would have to walk here, cross that bridge over the river onto different landscapes. To some of you that could mean the loss of a job, the loss of a relationship, the loss of a loved one. Indeed, if you just recently lost someone, my condolences here for you. Now the feminine element here that would like to talk to you is represented by the Knight of Pentacles. So there's a gift that is coming in for you. And this is interesting because the masculine is representing the loss element, but the feminine is automatically bringing in something new. It's much like when something is ending, a new beginning is coming to some of you, and this is very interesting. I'm getting the sensation of someone recently passed, but a baby came in. So this is like the sadness, but then the extreme happiness also. And this goes for every ending that you ever experience in your life. There's an immediate new beginning that is already there. And please trust in this, okay? Please trust that this is already there for you. Yes. A decision needs to be made. This is interesting. I'm going to link this to the short that I just recorded as well, because that decision needs to be made. You need to make the choice. Are you staying with the old or are you moving into the new? I'm very drawn to the crescent moon here. That is indicated, signifying wisdom that is coming and truth that is coming to the light. We also have the ocean here depicted. So anything water, all rivers lead to the ocean is what they just said. So with the waters, that means your soul, your emotions. So you have to pay close attention to what your emotions show you. If those are uncomfortable emotions, which is quite likely when you're experiencing a loss, don't push them away. Allow them to be there. That way they're not overwhelming to you, okay? That way you can work through them and with them rather than pushing them away, because this can amp up. To some of you that means anxiety. Feel into it. I highly recommend it here. I highly recommend it because you need to take off that blindfold and you need to make that decision. That's really, really important here. Otherwise, you might stay in that situation of loss maybe too long. And this is interesting, not too long. I have to rephrase this. Not too long. It's like you're staying there longer than necessary. That's it. You take as much time as you need with the situation of loss, whatever this means to you. However, when you're ready, move out, move over that bridge, okay? Move over that bridge because there's much more to be had, okay? What else, please? Oh, yeah. Woo, 10 of Wands. Yeah, you've been carrying, excuse me. Oh, wow. Okay. You've been carrying a heavy load here. And this is interesting because I'm also getting past life. This is not necessarily for all of you, but I'm getting being denounced, which is very interesting, but by a village. So this is where the past life thing is coming from. So maybe in a past lifetime, you were indeed being denounced for example, stepping into your gifts, or for being who you are, or for speaking certain truths. And the fact that the throat for me came in immediately, granted, I'm still not 100% there, but the way how it made me stumble upon my words, that was significant. So there may be something coming up past life where you were not prosecuted. I'm literally getting denounced. So people were like, oh, look at this idiot, blah, 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 and down that line, okay? But I'm getting a very unevolved community here, and this is past life again. However, it could show up in your life one way or the other, and you were highly evolved back then already, and you were carrying quite heavy on that burden here of being, but I want to stand in my truth. I said what I said, and I'm standing with it. It could have ended up with you in a hermit type of a situation where you had to leave the security of that very village. And in earlier times, that was even more significant than it is now, because your survival literally depended on it. So these are really heavy emotions in terms of working through them, but it's typical for the time and the energies that we're in right now, that we're all experiencing. It is so fast, guys, and it is so exhausting, or it can be so exhausting. And I know a lot of people where they're suffering from physical symptoms at the moment because of that clearing that is happening, okay? What else? Yes. Oh, wow. Queen of Pentacles is what we have. This is the gift. It goes from the Knight to the Queen. It's like something is waiting there for you, but for that you have to cross that bridge, okay? There's the Queen of Pentacles, actually quite comfortable where she's at. So she's, you know, she's a self-made woman, I want to say. But she's like happy where she's at, and it doesn't matter, you know, if you're female or male, it doesn't matter. It goes for both. It's almost like a messenger is bringing you something. And if you want to call it that, you can call it a reward. But I'm more getting in the sense of divine justice. You know, the scales need to be balanced here. So if there's a loss, there ultimately has to be a gain too. And I find it so interesting that that past life topic here is popping up with a being denounced. I'm really wondering if you're not quite comfortable in your current environment for various reasons, but to some of you, the past life really plays into this, okay? And it can be super good to know that that's the case, because then you can actually work with it. Because sometimes we cannot explain why we feel a certain way. We shouldn't be feeling that intensity, yet here we are, we're feeling it. It could also, that's the other thing that is coming in now, could denote to the collective. If you're identifying as an energy worker of any kind, then you would be feeling the heaviness within the collective at the moment. And I'm feeling like it's about to burst, like something is filled up to the seams and it's about to burst here, because there's no way this can be carried out that much longer, I want to say. There's pressure that is building up here, and it's like it's gonna do one of those, because it can only go so far before, you know, the gummy band, like the rubber band, that's it, before the rubber band is snapping. And this is what I'm feeling here. So if you're not in the position to make a decision at this moment to cross that bridge, I feel there's a tower moment coming in. But with the tower moments, those are not to be misunderstood for something that brings misfortune. Not at all. It's Spirit's leg up, you know, they're helping you out of the situation. This one, no. This one, yes, indeed. So the 6 of Cups, and that's right underneath the 10 of Wands. So indeed something past life, even something that you may have experienced or re-experienced in your childhood for that matter, where throat, you know, was limited, where your self-expression was limited in some way, and where maybe you were too sensitive, maybe you were, you know, crying, maybe you were just different than the other kids, or than your family. And that has such an impact still. And again, there is the indication of the past life, and often enough, if we haven't worked through something in a lifetime, it will be reoccurring in this lifetime for you to be working through, maybe in a little bit of a different form, but do you say protagonists or antagonists? I don't know. The players will be the same, which is so interesting, until you let go of the karma here that has accumulated. And letting go means to forgive. Now there's a huge distinction between, oh, I forgive, it's fine, and working through your feelings until forgiveness just comes in by itself. I do not necessarily recommend to be like, oh yeah, now you're forgiven, because you still may hold resentment for everything that has happened. And it's a really good idea to look at those feelings within yourself, to validate yourself, and to really, I just saw 1111, to validate yourself and your feelings, to do yourself justice here. Okay, that's really important. More of those? No. I'm eyeing with the angels of Atlantis over here. This one, yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, we had that in a short that I may also link here. So I'm curious to see what wants to come through. Metatron was who came through in that very short. So we'll see. Let me see, guys, what wants to come through here. And hopefully I can publish that today, actually. This one, no. This one, yes. No way. Okay. Indeed. Okay, I'm gonna have to link both shorts to that video because apparently that seems to be relevant. You have Metatron with wisdom here popping up for you. So however, this has a slightly different meaning that is coming in here versus the short, and that makes sense because it's an addition to that. So I'm seeing constellation of Orion, yes, and I'm very drawn to vibration and to ancient buildings and how the vibration was so important and how things were built vibrationally. The ancient cultures knew about vibrations, they knew about hertz, they knew how to heal with those frequencies, and they knew how to raise their vibrations. There's a high likelihood that you were so evolved already that you knew some of these things in terms of wisdom. So you've experienced those, and you may have healed yourself with it, and you came back to the village with your discovery and were like, oh, I have this amazing thing, and no one would believe you, and they would ridicule you. And then there's this element of power, and how power is so incredibly misused and is trying to undermine anything and anyone who tries to come up with something that's of actual benefit to the collective, because if it doesn't make them money or doesn't bring them power, then it's of no use. And it's from very egotistical, narcissistic, what's the other thing? Psychopathic, sociopathic tendencies here but I want to help humanity. So this is where the humanitarian, oh, that's so interesting. That was the short, okay, it comes in here. You may be very willing to help other people. You may be very, feeling in terms of feeling the collective energies, feeling people. When someone's sad, you would be feeling it. You want them to feel better. And that was always your intention. For some of you, the Essenes come through. So that could be very interesting to look into the topic of the Essenes for you. There's also the topic of Mount Sinai coming through. That's interesting. I have to look that up because those of you that have been here for a while, you know this about me. It's like I would look something up, like Mount Sinai. I don't know how many times I've looked this up, but the information isn't there for me anymore. So I'm going to have to look it up after that. My guess is Moses, that's connected to, but I have to look it up to verify for myself. If you know, drop it in the comments down below. Okay, read this now. We already read it in the short. Yeah, there's a lot of ancient wisdom, and it seems like you were very tied into the Egyptian culture as well, and then reborn into different ages. And that must have been so difficult for you too, because, you know, going from something where you are so used to healing and to all these beautiful feminine energies, you know, high priestess, high priest energies, really wanting the good of humanity coming from that, and where magic and all of these things were so present and so alive, to be born into almost like the dark ages where none of this is being recognized. And I feel like we're going back into that though, where more magic and more ancient wisdom is surfacing. That's like the counter movement here to the destruction and the crumbling of the old, that we're going into the feminine and into the more mystical ages, and things are coming back to life literally. Okay, so there's a lot that is happening at this time when you're watching this reading. Anything else? No. So this is what your ancestors want you to know about your current situation. You have them watching over you, and they're assisting you. There's also the element, I want to show this. And there's also the element of that they're here. Make the connection with them. If you're not currently feeling them, they're asking for a stronger connection, or you can make that connection more beneficial to you, is what they're saying. Okay, so that they can help you more with the task at hand, possibly also with the decision here, and with the moving on, and with the feeling your feelings and all that. All right, I hope this was helpful and or insightful to you, my friends. Be super well. I'm sending you so much love, light, and shadow. Thank you, ancestors, for being here today. Thank you, my guides, your guides. Thank you so much. All right, love you. Bye.